So, 3.5 million pages of Epstein files dropped today. I have been going through them for hours. I'm not done. No one is done. This is going to take weeks, but I need to tell you what I'm finding so far because this is significant. I'm Eliza Orland's career public defender for 15 years in Manhattan, and so I've seen a lot, but this is different. And so I want to start with a trigger warning, and you know this if you've been following the Epstein files coverage, whether it's mine or anyone else's. This stuff is heavy. So please be gentle with yourself, because reading through this material day after day, trying to verify things, trying to report it accurately, trying not to sensationalize it, but also not minimize it, it is a lot. It's a fucking lot. Okay, so let me walk you through what I'm finding. First of all, let's talk about Elon Musk. Musk has said publicly multiple times that Epstein tried to repeatedly get me to visit his island and I refused. He posted that on X, direct quote. And when Forbes put out an article saying that Elon Musk planned a trip to Epstein's private island, newly released documents show, Elon tweeted back, "This is false." Well, the new batch of emails tells a very different story. In November 2012, years after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted and adjudicated a sex offender, Epstein asks how many people Musk is bringing for the helicopter to the island. Musk responds, "Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?" The wildest party on a registered sex offender's island. 1 month later, Christmas Day 2012, Musk emails Epstein again. "Do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's, sick, or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for." Elon Musk is not refusing anything, he's asking for more. He's saying the island isn't wild enough, that he doesn't want a peaceful experience. He's actively pursuing Jeffrey Epstein for parties over multiple months. Then fast forward to February 2013. Epstein emails the CEO of Activision Blizzard, "The girls and I are going to see Elon Musk at SpaceX tomorrow." The girls. His assistant confirms it. Jeffrey Epstein and 3 of his assistants are in California and going to visit SpaceX at 1 o'clock today. We know what the girls meant. We know what Jeffrey Epstein's assistants were. Then, December 2013, a full year later, Musk is still at it. "We'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit?" Epstein, "I will send heli for you. Always space for you." So when Elon Musk tells you he refused Epstein's invitation, well, we have the receipts now. 2 years of emails, him asking for parties, him asking for the wildest night, Epstein sending helicopters. He wasn't refusing anything. Then there's Donald Trump, of course. An FBI interview from today's release, a 302, describes how Ghislaine Maxwell operated at parties. A victim tells the FBI that Maxwell brought her to a party in New York and presented her to Donald Trump. Her word, presented, like merchandise. They talked for about 20 minutes. The victim was then invited to Mar-a-Lago, where Trump personally gave her a tour with Epstein and Maxwell present. The FBI report says, quote, "Nothing happened between the victim and Trump." But here's what else it says. Maxwell made clear to the victim that she was available. Maxwell said things like, "Oh, I think he likes you. Aren't you lucky? This is great." And, "Oh, he'll like this, doesn't like that." The report says it was, quote, "set up very much like how Maxwell introduced the victim to Epstein. The same playbook, the same presentation at Mar-a-Lago." Maxwell also introduced this same victim to other men at these events. Their names? Redacted. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I need to warn you again, because what I'm about to describe in these FBI documents released today is a victim's account of what happened to her, and it's horrific. A victim who was 16 years old describes how Epstein's assistant Sarah would call her every time Epstein was in Palm Beach and schedule appointments for her visit. Each time, she says, something new was introduced. Each time, additional monies were produced and offered to get her to comply. She describes being forced to perform sex acts with Epstein and another woman. She says Epstein would photograph them and proudly display the photographs within the home. And then she describes what happened during one massage. She says Epstein grabbed her, turned her over onto her stomach on the massage table, and, quoting from the document, forcibly inserted his penis into her vagina. She says her head was being held against the table. She screamed no, and Epstein stopped. Afterward, he apologized and he paid her $1,000. She said he still continued to display the photographs of her throughout the house. This is who Jeffrey Epstein was. Not a socialite, not a financier, a violent rapist who paid children after assaulting them and then hung their pictures on his walls. Okay, so let's talk about what's still hidden, though. The DOJ identified over 6 million pages covered by the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They've released 3.5 million to this point, barely half. And here's what's happening. Survivors' names are appearing unredacted in these documents. Their information is being exposed. Meanwhile, the powerful men who abused them, still redacted behind black bars. There's an FBI chart from 5 days after Epstein's death listing 8 co-conspirators. Only 2 faces are visible, Maxwell and Jean-Luc Brunel. 6 are still redacted. 6 co-conspirators still protected. Survivors released a statement today. Quote, "This is being sold as transparency, but what it actually does is expose survivors. Once again, survivors are having their names and identifying information exposed, while the men who abused us remain hidden and protected. They're protecting the wrong people." Okay, well, that's what I have so far. There's a lot more coming. Please be gentle with yourselves. This material is brutal. If you need to step away, step away. And I could use some of that grace too, because I'm sitting here alone reading about children being